Today, I'll reveal 6 small signs that show a woman is secretly falling for another man, long before she admits it to herself or crosses any physical line. These aren't dramatic red flags that scream betrayal. These are quiet shifts in behavior, small changes in patterns, minor adjustments in how she relates to you that signal a deeper emotional transformation happening beneath the surface. Before we begin, hit subscribe and comment if you've ever sensed emotional distance but couldn't explain it. What you learn today might confirm what your instincts already knew. And stay until the end, because I'll reveal what these signs mean collectively and what you should do if you recognize multiple patterns in your relationship. Sign 1. She becomes emotionally unavailable, but blames stress. She's physically present in your life, sitting across from you at dinner, lying next to you in bed, existing in the same space. But mentally, she's elsewhere. There's a distance you can feel even when she's right there. She stops opening up about her feelings, her dreams, her problems, the inner thoughts that used to flow freely between you. The emotional transparency that once defined your relationship has been replaced by surface-level conversation and polite distance. When you ask if something's wrong, sensing the shift in her energy, she has ready explanations that seem reasonable on the surface. I'm just tired. It's been a stressful week at work. I have a lot on my mind right now. These explanations are designed to end the conversation, to prevent you from digging deeper into what's really happening emotionally. She's giving you just enough of an answer to satisfy your immediate concern without revealing the actual truth of her internal world. When a woman's emotions attach to another man, she subconsciously starts protecting that bond by closing off emotionally with you. This isn't a conscious decision she makes. It's an automatic psychological defense mechanism. Her emotional energy and vulnerability are being directed towards someone else, and maintaining dual emotional intimacy becomes impossible. She can't open her heart to you while simultaneously opening it to him, so she chooses to protect the new connection by creating distance in the old one. Her stress isn't about work deadlines or family issues or any of the explanations she provides. It's about emotional conflict. She's managing the cognitive dissonance of being in a committed relationship with you while developing feelings for someone else. That internal conflict creates real stress, but not the kind she can talk to you about. So she uses generic explanations that sound plausible while hiding the true source of her emotional turmoil. Pay attention to the quality of your conversations. Are they still deep and meaningful, or have they become shallow and transactional? Does she still share her fears, hopes, and vulnerabilities with you, or has that intimacy disappeared? When something important happens in her life, are you the first person she wants to tell, or does she seem to be processing it elsewhere first? These subtle shifts reveal where her emotional loyalty truly lies. Sign 2. She talks about another man. Casually, but often. She mentions him in passing, weaving his name into everyday conversation in ways that seem innocent and unremarkable. He's so funny, you should have heard what he said today. He helped me figure out that problem I was having. We just have similar interests. It's nice to talk to someone who gets it. Each individual mention sounds harmless, like she's just sharing details about her day or acknowledging a helpful colleague or friend. The frequency of his name is the clue that something deeper is happening. It's not what she says about him that matters most, it's how often she says it. His name appears constantly in her stories, woven into anecdotes and observations, in a way that reveals he's occupying significant mental space. She's thinking about him throughout her day, and those thoughts naturally spill into her conversation with you. Repetition is emotional exposure. When she keeps referencing another man, it's because he occupies her thoughts more than she realizes or is willing to admit. The human mind naturally focuses on what's important to it, and conversation patterns reveal those priorities. If she mentions him more than any other person in her life, If his name comes up across different contexts and situations, if she finds ways to bring him into conversations where his presence isn't really relevant, that repetition is telling you everything you need to know. The casual mentions are emotional leaks, her subconscious trying to normalize her growing attachment. By making him a familiar character in your shared narrative, she's gradually integrating him into your awareness in a way that seems harmless. This serves a psychological purpose. If you're already used to hearing about him, it won't seem suspicious when she needs to spend more time with him or when their relationship deepens further. She's laying groundwork, creating a story where his increasing presence in her life seems natural rather than alarming. Listen, not just to the frequency of mentions, but to the tone. Is there warmth in her voice when she talks about him? Does she light up slightly, smile unconsciously, speak with more energy and animation? Does she defend him if you make any slightly negative comment? These emotional undertones reveal that he's not just another person in her life. He's someone who makes her feel something, someone who's become emotionally significant. Sign 3. Her mood improves when she talks to him or about him. You notice sudden shifts in her emotional state that seem disconnected from what's happening between you. She's been quiet or distant all evening, and then her phone buzzes. She checks it, and suddenly there's a smile, a lightness in her demeanor, an energy that wasn't there moments before. Or she brings him up in conversation, and as she talks about him, her whole face changes. She becomes more animated, more engaged, more present than she's been with you all day. She lights up when he messages her, but feels flat or distracted around you. The contrast is impossible to miss once you're paying attention. Your attempts at conversation get one-word responses or distracted nods, but when he reaches out, she's fully engaged, typing quickly, smiling at her screen. The emotional energy that should be flowing between you and her is instead flowing between her and him, and you can see it in these visible mood shifts. Dopamine from emotional validation triggers visible happiness. When someone makes us feel valued, understood, desired, our brains release dopamine, creating a neurochemical reward response. This isn't something people can fake or hide completely. The happiness shows in facial expressions, body language, tone of voice. If he's triggering those dopamine releases through his attention and validation, her mood will visibly improve in connection with him. Even if nothing physical has happened, she's already emotionally addicted to how he makes her feel. Emotional affairs create genuine chemical dependency. Her brain has learned that interaction with him equals feeling good, and like any addiction, she begins craving that feeling. The dopamine hit from his attention becomes something she looks forward to, something that brightens her day, something she needs in a way she doesn't need your attention anymore. That invisible spark you used to get from her, the one that lit her up when you walked in the room or sent her a message, someone else is now lighting it. The emotional responsiveness that used to be directed at you has been transferred to him. This is one of the most painful aspects of emotional affairs, watching someone you love come alive for someone else while remaining emotionally flat with you. Sign, Fun Earth 4, she starts paying more attention to her looks, subtly. She doesn't make dramatic changes that would be obvious to everyone. There's no full makeover, no radical new style, nothing that would draw attention or questions. But you notice effort that wasn't there before, small enhancements that add up to a clear pattern. New perfume appears on her dresser without explanation or occasion. She's wearing makeup more consistently, taking more time with it, being more deliberate about the results. Her clothes are more carefully chosen, more flattering, updated with pieces you don't remember seeing before. Her hairstyle changes slightly but noticeably, showing more care and attention. These changes happen without clear reason or celebration. It's not for a special event or anniversary. It's not because she explicitly told you she's trying a new look. The improvements just appear, gradually and consistently, without the context, that would make them understandable. When you ask about it or compliment the changes, she might brush it off. Just felt like trying something new, or I saw this and liked it. Women express attraction through self-presentation. This is fundamental female psychology. When a woman is attracted to someone or wants someone's attention, she uses her appearance as a communication tool. The effort she puts into how she looks is directly proportional to how much she wants to be perceived as attractive by someone specific. She's trying to feel attractive, not necessarily for you anymore, but for the man who's making her feel seen and desirable. This isn't vanity or a general desire to look better, it's emotional preparation. She's aligning her appearance with how she wants to be perceived by him. Every choice she makes about her appearance is subconsciously designed to appeal to him, to catch his attention, to make him see her as attractive and desirable. Even if she hasn't consciously admitted to herself that she's falling for him, her behavior reveals the truth. Pay attention to when this extra effort appears. Is it on days she'll see him? Does she dress differently for work than she does for your dates together? Is the effort concentrated around times and places where he'll be present? The timing reveals who the real audience is for these appearance improvements. If she's putting more effort into looking good for situations where he'll be present than for moments with you, that tells you everything about where her desire for validation is directed. Sign 5. She's more irritable with you, but patient with others. Little things that never used to bother her suddenly trigger irritation and frustration. The way you load the dishwasher, the way you tell stories, the way you breathe when you're relaxed on the couch. Things that were once endearing quirks or simply unremarkable aspects of your personality are now sources of annoyance. She's cold in her responses, short in her communication, dismissive of your attempts at connection or conversation. But here's the tell. She's pleasant, patient, and warm with everyone else. She's kind to the barista, helpful to coworkers, friendly to neighbors, engaging with friends. The irritability is specifically targeted at you. Other people get her good mood, her patience, her emotional generosity. You get the exhaustion, the frustration, the barely concealed annoyance. This happens when a woman's emotional energy shifts away from her partner. She has a finite amount of emotional generosity to give, and when she's investing it heavily in someone new, there's less available for you. More significantly, when she's developing feelings for someone else, she begins unconsciously comparing you to that person, and you always come up short in her mind because she's idealizing him while focusing on your flaws. The more she invests emotionally elsewhere, the less tolerance she has for your imperfections. When someone is our emotional priority, we practice grace with them. We overlook small annoyances, appreciate positive qualities, extend understanding when they're not perfect. But when emotional investment has moved to someone else, that grace disappears. Every flaw becomes magnified. Every imperfection becomes intolerable. Because she's measuring you against an idealized version of someone else. Her irritability isn't random or stress-related. It's emotional displacement. She's subconsciously comparing you to the man she's drawn to, and in that comparison, you're failing to measure up. Every time she's irritated with you, she's really expressing frustration that you're not him, that you don't make her feel what he makes her feel, that you don't provide the emotional stimulation she's getting elsewhere. This creates a vicious cycle. The more irritable she is with you, the more you pull back or defend yourself. The more conflict arises between you, the more justified she feels in seeking emotional comfort elsewhere. The emotional distance grows, the comparison becomes more severe, and the relationship deteriorates, while she convinces herself it's because of your flaws rather than her emotional infidelity. Sign 6. She stops seeking your validation. She no longer asks for your opinion on decisions she's making. She doesn't seek your compliments or approval on how she looks, what she's wearing, choices she's facing. Questions like, "Does this look good?" or What do you think I should do? Or, do you like this? Simply disappear from your conversations. She seems confident, self-assured, emotionally independent, in a way that might look healthy on the surface, but actually signals something darker. She's distant in her decision-making, making choices without consulting you, even when those choices affect both of you. There's an emotional autonomy that feels less like growth and more like disconnection. She doesn't seem to care whether you approve or disapprove, whether you're impressed or disappointed, whether you even notice the changes she's making. This is the final stage of emotional redirection. When another man fills her emotional void, she no longer looks to you for reassurance, approval, or validation. Her sense of self-worth, her confidence, her emotional security are now being provided by someone else. Your opinion has lost its value because someone else's opinion has replaced it in importance. Her silence isn't strength or independence. It's emotional detachment. When women are securely attached to their partners, they naturally seek that partner's perspective and value their input. They want to be seen and appreciated by the person they love. When that desire disappears, it's not because she's become more self-sufficient. It's because she's getting those needs met elsewhere. She doesn't need your validation anymore because she's getting it from him. His compliments matter. His opinion influences her. His attention fills the need that your attention used to fill. The emotional role you used to play in her life, the role of primary validator and supporter, has been transferred to someone else. You're still there physically, still present in her life structurally, but emotionally, you've been replaced. This is often the final sign before she either ends the relationship or crosses into physical infidelity. By the time a woman has completely redirected her need for validation away from her partner, the emotional affair is fully established. She's no longer emotionally dependent on you because someone else has taken that place. The relationship exists in form, but not in substance, and it's only a matter of time before the form follows the substance into dissolution. If you recognize multiple signs from this list, you're witnessing the process of a woman falling for another man. These aren't isolated behaviors that mean nothing. They're interconnected patterns that together paint a clear picture. Her emotional loyalty is shifting away from you and towards someone else. The hard truth is that by the time these signs are all visible, the emotional affair is already well established. She may not have crossed any physical lines yet, but emotionally, she's already chosen him over you. The question becomes whether that emotional infidelity is something you can or should try to recover from, or whether it's time to accept that the relationship is over in all the ways that matter.